Professor Anton has shot a video asking me some questions as a response to my Eskimo analogy. The Eskimo analogy is found in my video, Eskimos and Atheism, and it's not my analogy. The best I can recall, the analogy was put forth by the philosopher Bertrand Russell. Links to Professor Anton's video of questions and my Eskimos and Atheism video can be found in the underbar. Before I attempt answers to Professor Anton's questions, let me say a few words about the questions themselves. Except for the broad context of my Eskimos and Atheism video, I think that some, not all, of Professor Anton's questions are decontextualized. Therefore, without understanding the specific context that Professor Anton intends in asking some of his questions, I'm not confident that I will answer his questions to his satisfaction. Also, some of his questions I don't understand on their face, so I fear that I will not be able to answer these questions adequately at all. First question: is nature parts without a whole? My answer is that what we call nature, and I take it that is equivalent to other totalizing expressions like the universe and the world. What we call nature just is its parts and the relationships of the parts and the relational complexes of the parts. Therefore, I do not hold that there is a whole of nature that is ontologically above and beyond its parts, the relationships of the parts, and the relationships and the relational complexes of the parts. Second question: are relations diseases of the mind? I have some family relatives that are diseases in fact, as well as the mind, but I'm sure that is not what Professor Anton means by relations. Beyond saying that much, I don't understand the question. Third question: are relations as real as the things are? Yes, absolutely. When we have evidence for the existence and the operations of the relations. That, I think, is an important metaphysical insight, one that, on a more localized level than our discussion about nature, accounts for phenomena like how our brain activity can arise into a felt experience of mind or self. Fourth question: could it be that nature has as many wholes as there are consciousnesses by which the parts are apprehended? I'm not sure what is meant by this question, but if the question trades on some form of idealism such that what we call nature just is a projection of consciousness, then I will have to demur. In my view, the things of the world have an existence independent of anyone's perception of them. Consciousness is not antecedent to ontology, quite the contrary. Fifth question: is there a whole of nature? I believe I have already answered this question, but to repeat, what we call the whole of nature just is its parts and the relationships of its parts and the relational complexes of its parts. Therefore, the so-called whole of nature is not ontologically above and beyond its parts, the relationships of its parts, and the relational complexes of its parts. Sixth and final question: if a tree falls in a forest and there is no one there to hear it, well, there really wasn't a forest and the tree, right? I mean, the tree was already included in the forest. Is that the problem? Again, I don't think I adequately understand this question. In any case, I don't see how it follows that if a tree falls in a forest and there is no one there to hear it, then neither the tree nor the relational complex called the forest exists. Beyond saying that, I can't think of any way to answer the question. Thank you for your questions, Professor Anton.